The 93 season finale, Cowboys and Giants, NFC East titles on the line. The winner of that game gets home field advantage of the playoffs. Take me to that defining moment of your career.
I think every player has a defining moment in their career, and that right there was the one for me, because there was so much at stake. That also was the year that I missed the first 2 games of the season.
And you still win the rushing title.
Yeah. As Rich Dow Ripper used to tell me, it's not where you start, it's where you finish. And every week he used to just say, I used to look at the stats and I'm like, man, I'm behind by 200 yards. He said, just keep chipping away. He would say that every week, just keep chipping away. Then finally in week 17, we play in New York, and everything is on the line. We got to win this game to secure home field advantage, and not only that, but win the NFC East outright. And we playing in New York on the road, cold day, and we having a good start. We're on a roll. I take a handoff, an inside trap play, break it out to the right side, Giants side, and I'm gone. It's about 40 yards later, 50 yards later, Greg Jackson, whom I played against in college at LSU, comes up to me on the inside, rides me to the ground, hit the ground funny, clavicle pops out of my AC area, and so now I have an AC separation, not knowing what it was, but I knew it felt pretty bad. And I come off the field, they do the analysis, they take me to the locker room, analyze my shoulder, they call it a grade 2 separation, probably was a grade 3. Because I could bounce my clavicle up and down with my hand.
It sounds fun.
It wasn't fun at all. And so mentally, I know what's at stake. And when you see the doctors and staff go over to a corner and huddle up in the corner and have a private conversation while you're laying there, you know something's not right. Yeah. But Kevin O'Neill comes back and he says, we need you in this game. And I'm like, I know. They gave me some stuff for the pain. I think it may have been a Vicodin at the time. They put 2 knee pads together, cut a hole, made a donut out of it, laid it on my shoulder, strapped it to my shoulder to give me a little extra padding on my shoulder pads. And I trust that was all I could do. I wasn't going to damage it any further. And Norv said, we're going to probably try to use you as a decoy. I'm like, okay. Michael said, I need you to stay in the game. Just act like you're going to run the football so they can just line up.
Michael Irvin.
And so went back there thinking that I'm going to be a decoy for a whole half. Something changed. The Giants start coming back. The game get very interesting. And they start calling my number. And I'm like saying, okay, here we go. And the first time I hit the ground, I can hear my chest just cracking, sound like knuckles popping. Pain is shooting, radiating. And I'm just saying, oh my gosh. But I can't come out. I can't come out. I got to stay in the game. I got to stay in the game for the whole third and fourth quarter, including the overtime. And I just kept running. And that's all I could ever think about. Everything got quiet. I was in my own zone. I was in my own happy place, if you will. And that's how I was able to get through the game. Not only that, but my teammates was encouraging me. And I kept coming back to the huddle, tears running out my eyes, Troy looking at me saying, you all right? Yeah, just call the play. And it was a run play. And I'm like, okay. And he just kept saying, hang in there, man, hang in there.
To what extent on the team's flight home, you were playing in New York, flight back to Dallas, did the team actually consider stopping in a random city to get you to the hospital sooner?
Yeah, because after the game, I'm so thankful that we won the game. I don't even recall seeing the field goal go between the uprights because I was in so much pain. Afterwards, the adrenaline wore off, and this one I knew something was seriously wrong. I was getting out of my shoulder pads and everything. Everybody was all excited. We had a bye week, and I'm coming out of my shoulder pads. And as I get out of my shoulder pads, I have this massive contraction in my chest, and I fall down, and I'm feeling like I'm having a heart attack. And they get me up, they take me into the training room. I'm laying on the training room, they give me ice and everything else, they're working on me. And I'm laying there, and I finally calm down, it finally goes away, and all I was having was spasms in my chest. And those spasms actually contracted over the AC joint, which pulled the muscle and made the joint like intensify with pain. And at the time I bruised my sternum too. And so I'm there in pain, and I'm like, finally things calm down, and I finally get showered up, and I'm walking out. The medicine started to kick in. So I go and get on the bus, and then on the plane ride back, it happened again. And it woke me up out of a sleep, and I didn't know what was going on. And then, the pain was so intense because of the air altitude and everything else. I was trying to knock my shoulder out of place up against a wall because it was hurting so bad. And they came, they held me down. I think the doc may have given me a shot, and I went back out. Then I woke up again, pow, banging it up against the window, screaming, it was hurting. And Kevin O'Neill said, "Hey man, we may have to land this plane in Memphis to get you to a hospital." I'm like, "No, just get me back to Dallas." I said, "If I'm gonna die, I wanna die in Dallas."